You don't want to make too much of just one game, certainly when you're as hurt as the Texans are, but is this game a chance to define a legacy? Welcome into the channel. I'm Cody Stoots. Let's talk some Texans. The Bengals game for the Houston Texans is not going to be an easy one by any means. My goodness, is this going to be a tough one? It's a red-hot Bengals team hosting the Texans, who are walking in with half their team healthy, it feels like. Because you got to remember, even if somebody is good to go and there's no injury designation on that player when the game rolls around, that doesn't mean the player is 100%. So I think about a guy like Will Anderson, who I expect to play in this game against the Bengals. Just because he didn't have an injury designation doesn't mean Will Anderson is 100% in this matchup. And you start thinking about the various players that are going to be out of this game, and it becomes a very interesting opportunity for DeMeco Ryans and, to a lesser extent, C.J. Stroud. Now, I'm not going to put too much stock into failure on Sunday. You don't plan to fail, but sometimes it happens, and then you have to bounce back and you have to have a different plan. The Texans did a good job of that when they failed against the Carolina Panthers, and they bounced back in a pretty good way against that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. But when you have the opportunity that the Texans have, specifically a couple of members of this organization, it is an intriguing and interesting opportunity. And I think about DeMeco Ryans in this matchup. When you look at the number of important and key defenders that are missing in this matchup, when you think about a starting safety, linebacker depth, and some of the various other things that this team is dealing with from a cornerback standpoint and just an overall health standpoint on defense, it would be a tough matchup against any quarterback. Add in Joe Burrow, who's playing some of his best football right now, who's an MVP candidate this season, and you think about the spot that DeMeco Ryans and his defense are in, and you look over at DeMeco Ryans, who's never used injuries as an excuse. And credit to DeMeco Ryans. He has never let injuries be an excuse. He's never leaned on that. He's never played the woe is me card like Bill O'Brien would often play when injuries or things out of his control would pop up. Ryans has never done that. He's got a tough task this weekend. Can you even imagine how we will feel about DeMeco Ryans if his defense, hobbled as it is, goes into Cincinnati and has an impressive performance against Joe Burrow? How good will we feel about not just the defensive prowess of DeMeco Ryans, but what he's able to do in this spot, rally the troops and have them ready, have them excited to take on what feels like insurmountable challenge in this Joe Burrow-led Bengals team. If DeMeco Ryans can scheme up some things, if his team can play well, if the backups who have had to been inserted into this lineup, if the key players who don't have good backups behind them play just a tad bit more, and they are successful on Sunday against Joe Burrow, and they look good. And I'm not saying that they got to shut him out. I'm not saying they got to keep the Bengals to 10 or 14 points, something like that. But if they look like they can go toe-to-toe with Burrow for a good portion of 4 quarters, that'll be a really impressive feather in DeMeco Ryans' cap. Add on, if they win the football game, we're not talking about moral victories. We're not talking about excitement, but the process of learning about DeMeco Ryans, the head coach, DeMeco Ryans, the defensive play caller this season, it's an important element to the season. And this is a spot where you can learn a whole lot in victory or in a close loss about what DeMeco Ryans can put together with his team. Back against the wall, multitude of injuries. If Ryans can scheme some things up and his defense plays well, he deserves a lot of credit for the spot that the Texans are in, and it excites me for the future, the long-term growth of DeMeco Ryans, the head coach, if he can make things happen in this spot. Now let's turn to his quarterback, C.J. Stroud. What does C.J. Stroud have to prove to any of us? Nothing. 470 yards, the touchdowns, the amazing, epic, incredible. I've run out of adjectives, adverbs to describe the comeback for the Texans against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. C.J. Stroud doesn't have anything to prove. But again, like DeMeco Ryans, the growth and learning about this player and this spot against the Cincinnati Bengals is a great one for C.J. Stroud as well. He's going to be down Nico Collins. That's one of his best wide receivers. You should have Robert Woods back. Can he continue to elevate Noah Brown? Can he make even more out of what Tank Dell brings to the table when Nico Collins is out and maybe Dell gets a little bit more opportunity. Can he make things happen when the tight end situation is not great? The rushing attack, I don't anticipate it getting going against the Cincinnati Bengals. Can C.J. Stroud continue to showcase what he has showcased and elevate his teammates? We know the offensive line is going to pass block. Their run blocking is a little tough. The Bengals are down one of their key pass rushers, so I'm not worried about pressure, but this is a really good, solid, sound defense that C.J. Stroud is going against. And Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals, probably is going to be a head coach here pretty soon. He's had a tremendous amount of success going against quarterbacks that are feeling it, going against super talented quarterbacks. And you think back to the issues that Anarumo and his defense have given Patrick Mahomes in the past. And this is an intriguing and interesting opponent for C.J. Stroud. Again, the 2023 season, when it started, was about growth, learning about key pieces of this team. As they've had some success, expectations changed. I know they did for me a little bit. I think they did for you as well. Expectations changed a little bit for this team. You want to see them go out there, not just compete, but beat up on some teams and win some games. This is a great opportunity to sort of combine the pre-2023 expectations and the changed expectations, and it's a great opportunity for C.J. Stroud to combine both of those against Lou Anarumo's defense, the Cincinnati Bengals. Have some success against this defense in this spot with some key players on offense missing as well, and this defense that, yes, I know we just talked about if. Well, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, oh my, what a Merry Christmas we'd all have. If that defense plays well against the Bengals and Joe Burrow, if it doesn't, can you go toe-to-toe with Joe in Ohio? I was a poet. I didn't even know it. That's something that we will find out about C.J. Stroud in this game as well. And again, I don't know that we learn a ton about this Texans team in defeat. We learn more about this team if they are able to succeed, keep this one close, or even pull off the upset victory over the Bengals. In fact, we learn a tremendous amount about the Houston Texans as they are constructed right now, the intestinal fortitude, the guts, the just sheer will that they will put on the field. If they can upset the Cincinnati Bengals, it goes a long way in changing the perception and the ideas of what this team can accomplish. Because you look at where the Bengals are right now, how good they are, how successful they've been in this winning streak that they are on. If you can down the Bengals, look at the rest of the schedule. Who can't you beat? You will walk into every single game the rest of the season with the thought that the Texans should win this game, and at the very least could win this game if you defeat the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday as the Houston Texans. We will all believe the Texans can beat anybody and everybody left on their schedule, including a team that they may face off with in the playoffs, should they be lucky enough to have the success and get there. It's an opportunity to add to the impressive start of the season for the rookie head coach, DeMeco Ryans, and the rookie quarterback, C.J. Stroud, amongst many of their other teammates against this ferocious Cincinnati Bengals team. Hope you enjoyed the video. Do you agree? Well, let me know with a thumbs up. If you don't agree, get in the comment section down below. Love talking to you in the comment section. Lots of interactivity in the comment section. In the description down below, check out Houston Football where I do all my writing. And again, on the way down to that description, throw me a thumbs up on this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Check out all the other videos on the channel as well. Appreciate you watching the content here on YouTube, and I can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.